What is up, YouTubeverse? Clayton here with something new, something interesting, something I love playing. In fact, I've spent many hours upon it. Don't look at that one save I have there. I use mods, so it has a tendency to sometimes kill your saves. It's just the risk you take playing with mods. On that note, I do have mods in this one here, and everything should work out fine. Today we're playing Darkest Dungeon, if you couldn't tell. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this here. It's very grim dark, I think is the proper term. It's dark. We're talking like Call of Cthulhu dark. There's some weird shit that happens in this game. But anyways, I'm not going to go too far into it. We're going to just start there. We have the DLCs. We're going to play on Radiant because, you know, haha, snow. Let's see, what do we call our Hamlet? We'll be on original and make no sense at all. The GeekGamerAlert. Whoops, that's too big of an L. Alert Hamlet. There we go. At least we'll know which one we're using for the video. Okay, now, gotta enable the mods. There's a whole lot of them. Just, you know, play along. Smile and wave, boys. Just smile and wave. Some would say I should have made this, I should have did this before starting recording. I call them insane. You know, much like myself. So, if you guys end up liking this video, I'll probably end up making more of them. Because this is one of my favorite games to play, for sure. We'll get right into it. I'm going to stop talking because the main character, there is going to be story. So we'll just we'll let the story happen. It's narrated. And we just lost our wheel.
You will arrive along the old road. It winds with a troubling serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside, leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places.
I think I'm going to belabor.
There is a sickness in the ancient pitted cobbles of the old road.
I love the art.
And on its writhing path, you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors.
Ghosts. Get them. Do it.
So steel yourself, and remember there can be no bravery without madness.
He's gone crazy.
The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
Hopefully. So that was the intro. You like that? Did you like that one? I did. I think I just butchered that meme. Anyways. So yeah, we're going to be, this is the, what's the word I'm looking for? Tutorial area. We'll get the two main characters that you always have, no matter what, until they die. By the way, I should mention, this is a game where technically you shouldn't be getting too invested in your characters. Now, I am going to cheat a tiny bit. I am not actually using cheat codes, but one of my mods makes the game a bit easier. And honestly, I want to be able to make it through and not have to have you guys watch me die every so often. I'd like to actually make some progress for this for the channel, or for the video, anyways. And the first time loading in like this, it's going to take a little bit of time because you saw the list of mods, yes? Mods always end up making things slow down a little bit on load times. Oh, there we go. So we're ready. So what we have here are two main characters. Okay, so map navigation. To do so, we gotta go. I'm currently in a room. To move forth, click on another room on the map. Right there is another room. I'm just gonna quickly introduce you, though. We have Reynald is our knight crusader, and Dismas is our highwayman. You will always have these two as they are the ones that always start the game. There are mods to add other characters to the beginning, but I don't know. I never wanted to mess with that one because sometimes it messes stuff up. I've had saves lost because of it. Remember what I said about the whole losing saves thing? Anyways, so we're gonna let's move on to the next room. So
have run up these lanes.
He talks a lot. So
the hamlet is just ahead.
Yes. Hallway movement. So we can actually use the keyboard if we wanted. See, I can do that. I can also just hold down the mouse, which is what I usually do. So our first battle. So kill the enemy. Yeah, what else is combat meant to do? Let's see here. Kill the enemy. On your hero's turn, click a small icon, then click on highlight target. Funny thing is that it's been so long since I've read these that I need to actually pay attention to reading them, even though I already know how to play the game. You can't select particular skills because the hero needs to be standing in different spots. So, formation of what you will be able to have up to 4 heroes in a party at a time for your expeditions, and formation is everything. Some heroes can only do abilities at certain positions, and there are some enemies whose whole thing is about knocking your party around so they can't do their attacks properly. So it's always good to have versatile heroes in your party. Anyway, so let's kill this guy. Right now we're in good things. So open vein, you'll notice things here. I'm not going to get heavy into stats. That's not worth doing there. I leave it up for a moment. If you want to see stats, you can figure it out and read that. But the main thing to notice is that open vein will cause a bleed. Will cause bleeding on there, which is damage over time. See right there, you got it. So you see he takes damage on his turn. And we dodged. Beautiful. Now, Renauld has some interesting abilities. I should have gone over Dismas's other abilities, but Renauld has like Smite, that's his basic attack. Zealous Accusation, a little weaker, but it hits both the 2 front row enemies. I should mention that some attacks only hit certain areas on the battlefield too. So, Stunning Blow, which its big thing isn't so much as damage, but as its name states, stun. Bulwark of Faith, that ups the Torch. Now, the Torch is interesting. I will get into it in a little bit. I'm throwing too much information in one shot. We'll get into it. The game actually gets into it, so I don't need to even mention that. That's the main thing. So let's just kill this guy.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Loot. So, of course, when you kill enemies, you get loot. This is your inventory here. It's a bit expanded from what from the main one is, because I never really liked the vanilla inventory. You ran out of space way too fast. So this one gives a little more space to put stuff on. Alright, so interactive objects or curios. You'll find objects there. You just need to click on them and find them. Now, the thing is, this one is fine. We can just check inside the tent. But you'll notice there's an area for an item here. In later ones, we'll be able to use items to, like, disinfect things or disarm traps on them and such like that. And that'll actually get us the item instead of taking damage.
Finding the stuff
now, these are actually modded items. Handy things to have, because the game is meant to be hard, I understand. But these do make it a little easier. They give you buffs and heals a little bit. So it's not making it game-breakingly easy. You can still die pretty quickly if you're careful and not careful. Now they surprised us, which is not a good thing.
And their kind is no longer welcome.
Let's see. You can only do open vein, but it's good to make big guys like that bleed, because they have a lot of health or defense a lot of times. So if you can make them bleed, or another status effect you'll have later will be Plague. So it's basically like poisoning them in a sense, and that'll work on certain other creatures better than some others. So let's just focus on chopping through these guys. If you don't diddle around, it's impossible to lose at this point. That's only if you don't diddle around. Otherwise, so there you go, Zealous Accusation. So enemies leave corpses, which sometimes, if you critical hit an enemy, there will be no corpse. Yeah, monsters kill bleed, blight, or crits, leave no corpses at all. So there you go. As status effect stays with him as he's even as a corpse, so he'll just keep bleeding until he disappears. And let's see here. I'm going to skip these two around. We need to get rid of the corpse, so we need to beat on the corpse until it goes away. There we go. A rushed shot. Now you see, that's a sign of him having a worse ability up front, because obviously he's a rifleman, he's made to be in the back. Or a fusilier, I should say. Dismas is a highwayman, and he's better in mid-range, and obviously Renauld is much better at the front lines. So we got here, let's have a look quickly. Obviously these things are gold and stuff that's worth gold, but this is, I can't remember what they're properly called, but they're items meant to... Okay, so that's just to go back to town, return to Hamlet. And yes, I know there's a box there. There's nothing in it. There's never anything in it that I've ever seen. Did it really just give that to me? Okay, I just downloaded that one before I did the video. The Infinity Gauntlet, oh, it's the broken one. I'm guessing maybe that's actually meant to happen. And if you fight one of the bigger, nastier bosses in the game, you can get the ability to fix that and make it the real Infinity Gauntlet and make it really strong. I love modders. They just come up with some of the most awesome stuff. So, next. There. I'm going on a super easy mode just for this video, honestly. Like I said, I don't want to have to die a lot and
Welcome home,
waste time.
such as it is.
Oh, the Codina.
This squalid hamlet, these corrupted lands.
So beta, she
They are
doesn't even
yours
have
now,
a class
and you are
introduction.
bound to them.
Yes. So we'll bring her in. She's interesting. I should probably not use her on this thing until I'm sure of it, because I know that she's actually kind of crazy in the fact that there's some pretty dark stuff she can do. So I won't actually use her until I'm sure it's safe to use her on in the video. Until then, we have 2 more characters to get anyways. So
Men, soldiers and outlaws, fools and corpses, all will find their way to us now that the road is clear.
anyway, he says a lot, by the way. So we always get another 2 things. They're not the same named, but we always get a Plague Doctor and a Vestal.
What better laboratory than the blood-soaked battlefield?
And
A sister of battle, pious and unrelenting.
we can upgrade all the services in the town, making it
Great
capable of
heroes
doing
can
more.
be
So we
found
kicked our
even
roster up
here,
in size,
in the mud and
and the
rain.
amount of heroes that will show up in the stagecoach.
In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
And here we have, while we go out there, we'll sometimes pick up tattered pages of information from other previous explorers or other people like that, and we'll get them along there. Also, we'll have things here, we'll unlock stuff here as we defeat these bosses. So it's all recorded there. Yes, I know, I will embark. Shut up, game. Teaching the people.
Most will end up here.
This is
covered in
pretty
a poisoned
self-explanatory.
earth, awaiting merciful oblivion.
Your characters die, they end up in the graveyard. Never to be heard from again, and there is no way to bring them back. No necromancy, nothing like that. They did. They just did.
A mecca of madness and morbidity.
Hey, so
Your work begins.
this is where we can find our missions here. Like I say, I'm not going to do the Cadena right now, but we'll do these 2. We'll go with the usual suspects. So, right now we only have the ruins to go to. Other times we'll have them. Technically, we do have the darkest dungeon, although they will not survive. They are literally little weakling plebeians, and they will not make it. Don't worry, I'm not gonna do it, guys. But yeah. The 2 main things I'm doing here, I keep hinting at that I'm cheating a little bit. The 2 main things I'm cheating at, really, is I'm giving myself, at the end of this mission here, you'll notice that there's a large amount of money coming my way. That's just to help pay for things. The other one being is that we don't really get any negative stats, because I actually do want to show you guys more of the story-ish elements to it. Because you'll notice up here, there's a place called Courtyard. And that's actually a DLC thing to go with that. But I want to kind of expedite the process so we can actually make it through and maybe get to this is the main bit here, the darkest dungeon. So alrighty, so I'll stop talking. Let's see here. So you can see what we get here, and this is an item specifically for a different class, one that's a modded one called a Dark Wraith. So we'll get that, and if nothing else, if even we don't get the class, it's worth money.
Measured now in gold, later in blood.
Anyways, so it's always good to have food. Your adventurers get hungry. I guess they upped the stack size for them with this mod too. Cool. Well, whatever. It's probably more food than I need, but better safe than sorry. I'm gonna have enough money to pay for it anyways, so. Don't get me wrong, just because I have the whole lack of negative things, traits on, and I have a large amount of money, does not mean that my characters cannot die, does not mean that I can't have a hard time in the game. It's just a few nice little bonuses, as I might say. I guess I should actually probably focus more on getting things I need. Go away, holy water. I guess that one's for free, but we need torches. We'll drop a couple of those. There we go. Torches are kind of important. It'll probably go into them in this case here. Once the torch goes down, it will make it easier for enemies to get the jump on us, but the upside being is that if we win when it's really dark, and the darker it is, the better, and we win, the darker it is, the more treasure and such we'll get. So, and first time right into the ruins. What you got to say, buddy? Nothing? Alright, let's move on. So move forward, but it's always a good idea to keep an eye on the ground because traps exist, and if you can, if you see them ahead of time, you can disarm them. You have a chance of disarming them anyways. So.
In Radiance, may we find victory.
I usually like to keep the light up pretty high. I mean, I'm not too worried about making huge amounts of things there, but sometimes I like to test it a little bit. So his other ability is Pistol Shot. Grape Shot Blast is good. It hits all enemies, all 4 enemies in the line. Okay, so the Vestal is the healer. She's the strong healer. She can also heal the entire party. Dazzling Light is a stun and light damage. The Judgment is a stronger damage, as you can see.
Abomination cleansed from our lands.
The Plague Doctor is much more about damage over times and status effects. She does have a healing ability, but it's really more meant to cure the 2 status effects, Blight and Bleed. Although it can be good to bring someone back from the brink of death. Now, I'll just quickly say, when you go down to 0 HP, you'll be at what's called Death's Door. You're not going to die immediately, but you'll be there in a few turns, depending on how many times you get hit and if you're taking damage and such like that. But this can do 1 HP heal, and that'll bring you back above the threshold to 1 HP, which is better than being at Death's Door. So yeah, let's see. Battlefield Medicine. No, we don't need that. Disorienting Blast. Doesn't work. Noxious Blast. There we go. Now, you can't obviously bleed bones. Skeletons don't have blood. So only Blight works on them. You know what else works on them? Swords. 100% of the time. Except if you miss. Do I need to? I can just open this one. Contents are yours. Another shovel. I probably overpacked for this trip, but, you know, whatever. So, if one of your characters is best at, what is it? I think it's, I can't remember what it is, but you have to have, like, a high, maybe dodge stat or something like that. One of your stats is high, you can, you'll have a good scouting chance in the room. Actually, let's just have a look here. Speed, protection, accuracy, mod, crit. Just trying to see here. Cannot remember what it is that does that. This is something that Renault always comes with, Kleptomaniac, and I honestly hate it, because sometimes it means that when you walk past a curio, he'll just be like, hey, I think I'll take that. You don't get the items that he takes. He keeps them for himself. You never see him again. Oh,
even the cold
so this is what shovels are used for.
Seems bent on preventing passage.
You will find your way through that. And you see the light is going down, so stress goes up. Dodge, you still have a plus to dodge and scouting. Oh, there you go, scouting. The higher the torch, the better scouting, too. And high monsters surprising. Like, we'll surprise them, that is. See? Case in point. Grape Shot. Now, you'll see that priestess there. Cultist Acolyte. Her biggest ability is to push us around and to up our stress, which you'll notice a little white meter underneath there. That is our stress meter, so. We'll plague her. Let's see. Oh yes, whenever she uses Judgment, it also heals a bit of her health back, too. That's one skelly down. I know this one's been a lot of me yammering on about stuff like that, but I promise you, once we get past the basics, then I'll just shut up and we'll play the game and enjoy it. Critical, so immediately, body's just destroyed, gone. Let's see, Disorienting Blast. Handy thing about Disorienting Blast is it clears all corpses off the field, also stuns. And boom! Lightning!
As the enemy crumbles.
Ooh, critical healed herself, nice. Now, the blood. We got some of the blood.
Momentum.
That will come up later. You know, I'm not even going to get into it right now. We'll just leave it. Don't need to stick all the information in. Okay, my torch is dropping, so we get better loot slightly. So the mission on this one is to scout, explore 90% of the rooms. So literally means we leave one room behind we don't need to see. All right, back in his loot. A key and
treasure could staunch the flow of,
as I was saying earlier, things like crests and busts. There's also portraits and documents. I think deeds. We'll just light that back up full. They all contribute to upgrading. You remember how I upgraded the wagon, the cart? That needed those different heirlooms. That's what they are, heirlooms, to actually do it. So basically, we're selling off old heirlooms to upgrade. All right. And she's gonna do this. See, we can still kick up stress. So. And he's dead. Wow, that was fast.
Another one falls.
Alright. I do like that move blights basically all the time. Blight and bleed together just make for a deadly combo.
Unforgiving.
Okay, let's open this up. Hidden compartment.
Wealth beyond
Oh,
measure.
food. As if we needed more of that.
Awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
So scouting happens. So you see that spider web there? That is a trap. And we'll come across it here. And there it is. Right there. And it's usually you want to pick the right person to do it. Like somebody like Dismas should be the best for it. Disarmed. It can fail. I know this seems like a really easy time, honestly, because this is the first mission. This is kind of a continuation of the tutorial level. So we'll just keep going this way. Ignore that one room down there. Now people are like, "You're not a true explorer." Oh, here we go. So let's have a read of this here, because we have journal page, our first one, from Blackest of Fates. Now we're going to get these out of order. So the assault was overwhelming. With Cuthbert slain and as Boleyn fell, I was driven by rage. I leapt and drove my axe into the creature's many eyes. Purple ichor splashed my face. I don't know if it's ichor or ichor. It's Igor. But anyways, correct me in the comments if you want. My very soul shook as it bellowed. The only thing I can recall after was falling swiftly into blackness. Just bodes well, doesn't it? This is totally a very, very, very positive situation. Yeah, eat up, my friends. You got way more food than I expected you to need. And we picked up more along the way. Okay, last room. Is there a bottle? Is there a bottle in there? Is there a battle in there? Is there a bottle in there? Need a good strong drink after this.
The match is struck. A blazing star is born.
Aha! Here's an enemy worth our time. So these guys, as you expect, the arbalist fire arrows. They're the ranged attacker. You already know these two. This is the fighter. This is the heavy fighter. This little bastard, though, the bone courtier or courtier. I don't know how you want to say it, but he can up stress pretty heavily. So let's get rid of him as soon as possible. Every bit of damage helps. Some grape shot. Okay, it only hits the first three. Sorry, I thought it was all four, but it was the first three. I failed you. Top 10 animated betrayals. Let's see. We're gonna see here. 19. That's a pretty hefty amount, so. So they're doing a good amount of damage to us. There we go. Open vein is meant to make them bleed, but it's also still pretty good damaging attack. Disorienting blast. Let's get rid of that corpse as soon as possible. Stab. Oh, thank God. Let's actually heal her. I also have to admit that it took a very long time before I actually figured out the fact that the Plague Doctor is a woman. I have no problem with that. I just honestly didn't know.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Alrighty, all that's left is Buddy there. Okay, let's see if we can take him out. Not enough on its own, but... we have the ability to upgrade their abilities, too, after this, actually, I believe. And we'll make it so they have... like, the healers will heal more, do more damage, inflict better stats of ailments. So let's return to the ham... aw, crap, I missed a chest. Shit! No! Oh well. We can skip that there, and it tallies up with the collected treasures and such that you got, your collected heirlooms. Here we'll get the XP for their resolve, get their trait. Let me know if you do want me to take off the whole trait thing. I mean, I can do it if you want. I just want it there so it can make it easier. Daughters of the Fours. Okay, what are these?
I could not look.
Right, these are, this is a mod here. Seeker of the First, Second, Seeker of the Third. It's kind of interesting. Rather anime-ish looking characters. Honestly, I just picked things that look really cool, and these ones looked interesting. Let's see here. I like the darkened eyes. We'll go with that one. We'll go with her. There. I think we should give them their helmet. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. What was that? Oh, that is badass. Yeah, I think that... is that supposed to be the Berserk armor? I think that's the Berserk armor. Yeah, we're going with that, for sure. What about you? She looks kind of sad. Let's give her her helmet, though. Don't want to look at her sad face. How dare you be sad? We're killing monsters! Okay, she looks kind of creepy there. Yeah, we'll go with the mask again on that one. So, we just got a bunch of new characters. And we can also recruit them from here. Oh, wait, no, 2 of them are fucking Seekers again. Although this right here is one of the best of the mod ones I like to have.
Sunlight, a beacon of golden hope.
Okay. So I don't know what... I have nothing to tell you about these 4, as I have not gotten them yet since I downloaded them. So we're going to experience these 4 together. It's going to be in the next video, though, because we're coming to a close here. But I will go over this one. This is the Lamia. She is, unlike the others who only have access to 4, you only have like 4 abilities at a time. She does 2. But one of her abilities is to transform into kind of a big creepy sea hag type of thing. And in that form, she's all damage and DOT. But in this form, in her human form, she's all about heals. She has Cleansing Tide heal, which gets really good as you level it up. Arietta, which kills stress and clears horror, which is a status effect that I cannot remember really what it does. I think it drops some stats. And Allure, which can debuff enemies. But on this side, Petrifying Gaze, which is meant to stun. Slither, which pushes her forward 3. She's always best to keep in the back row, but she can float around when she's in her hag form. And Hiss, which fires off, like, poison or acid, which blights the enemy. Let's see, what color do we want her? As you can see, we can customize the color a bit. I'll go with that one. And her name is Phantosme. You can change the characters' names if you want. I just don't mind Phantosme. This is another one where I'm actually gonna find out about this one, what this one looks like. So if I'm skipped ahead a little bit on a battle or two, next time this comes up, don't be mad at me about it. I was just basically testing her out to see what happens. But anyways, I'm gonna leave it there. We will we will go from here. I'm thinking I'm going to make some more of this, because I know this one is a lot of talking about how things worked. From here on out, I want it to be, let's discover stuff, let's go to the story, and try not to get people killed, but try to kill all the monsters. I don't know about you, but I'm ready for it. So until next time, guys, be good to each other.
Bye.